Hey, and we're not on mute anymore. Hey, guys, it's Sunday. And you know what that means? It must be time for the Snark Lounge. Hey, everybody. Got a lot of you guys in the audience. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. But you know who isn't here? You may have noticed, may or may not have. Everyone remembers, my better half, Bunny. Although, if she's half my size and she's my better half, is she my better fourth? I don't know. That's a great question, really. So, at the very last minute, she was like, the house is filthy. I'm not joining. I have to clean. And so she's out there scrubbing the kitchen. True story. A lot of you guys know she was in Hong Kong for 3 months. And right before she came back, I had had a cleaning IE come in and just, scrub the place down, thoroughly, because although my wife is a wonderful and lovely person, she is Hong Kong Chinese, and she has the ability to walk by and, no matter how well you've cleaned, to walk by with a white glove and that's not clean. That's not clean. Nope. Can't have that. And so, yeah, she kind of tore on, we had work this week, and this weekend she's kind of on a tear cleaning out. And so she's like, yeah, I'm not doing it next week. So that's cool. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of folks got stuff going on. Alex Absolute was going to be in here, and his kids, it's his second kid's first birthday. So everybody go to Alex Absolute's website and wish his second son a very happy birthday. I was going to have expat survival on Michael, and coincidentally it's his daughter's first birthday. So everybody go over to expat survival site and wish Michael's little baby girl a very happy birthday. So, and that's okay. So it's going to be we're going to be talking about stories tonight. We'll have a lot of Chinese stories, and I did want to invite some of you guys. I'm going to throw this link back up in the chat here. Bam. There is the Uber secret, link right here. It's also in the chat. So if you guys would like to, wait, I can put myself in a timeout. That's pretty cool. I wonder what happened if I put myself in a timeout. It's like the infinite black hole, whatever else. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drop this right in the chat here. If you guys, one of you guys have a great Chinese story that you want to share from China, clean stories preferred, by all means, I would invite you into my humble abode, into the studio, the pseudo studio, as it were. And you guys feel free to share that story. Let's see. We got Dr. Death is in the house. Yes, happy wake and bake from Death Valley. Oh boy, Death Valley. I actually drove through Death Valley a couple years ago. True story. My folks were traveling cross country, and they needed someone to drive them because they don't like to fly. Yeah, who knows? So they got the cheapest and worst car available, a Chevy Chevette. That's right, the Chevy Chevette was America's first disposable car. And they decided to drive this from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Los Angeles. So I proceeded to drive them from there. And that was incredibly too long of a trip. My mom managed to get in a minor fender bender. We had some Cokes stolen out of the back of a truck. And oh yes, my mother decided that she would wanted to eat some Triscuits, some crackers out of a garbage can. Yeah, way to go, Mom. So it was a kind of a funky trip. But in any case, that wasn't one of the stories we were going to share tonight. Tonight, I find myself, as many people do who are who are working in China. This is midterm week. And so I've got, balls to the wall, students, boning up for midterms. And of course, it's just a monster. You spend all this time, prepping for the midterm, making the midterms, handing out study guides, you put stuff on the chalkboard and marker board, and they still don't follow directions. And then they want to be upset with you. The parents are, so it's one of those things. So you think the Pinto predated it, did it? The Ford Pinto had a wonderful user feature that nobody else's car had up to that point, and that if you lightly tapped the rear end, it would spontaneously burst into flames. True story. So, yeah. So, you look like you're wearing a sheriff uniform. Kinda. Burbex said I looked like a flight attendant or possibly a flight captain. So, yeah, that's true. So Tulsa, Oklahoma to Los Angeles is a long trip. That is like a 2-day trip if you drive across the country. True story. My parents also did not like to stay in a hotel. And we got to Tucumcari, New Mexico, which is a little hole in the wall that they advertised for almost 1,000 miles. two come carry tonight. And I was just so tired. I'm like, Mom, Dad, we're staying in a hotel. They never stayed in a hotel. So we got this place, and the door had like a gap like that all around three sides. It didn't close. You're hearing gunshots outside. So I kind of scooted the sofa up against the door there and slept on the sofa just in case. I was nervous we were getting shot in the middle of the night. But yeah, there we go. I look like a park ranger. True story. So, hey, Yogi. So I can't do a very good Yogi or Boo Boo accent. True story. So if I ever saw a Pinto, I'd give it a lot of room. Yeah. My mom actually had a Ford Pinto back when I was a kid. This little thing, it had no tires matched on it. Two of the fenders didn't match. It was a mess. And she loved that car. True story. So, yeah. So my wife spent a whole lot of time in isolation, and I was asking her what she liked about it, and she said she liked absolutely nothing. So there you go. So this week, hey Snarky, did you stop for fast food along the way? Yeah, it's a kind of a rite of passage. Whenever you're driving across the country in USA, you got to stop at White Castle, buy yourself at least a metric ton of those little slider burgers, and take off, and then you can make little fun origami things with them on the route. So we did buy a lot of those, but like anything else, not a lot. So I think it's, what is this? I think it's like a pilot. It's yes, there you go. Got the little uppercut things there. I need like the little stripes, and I realize this is not exactly a proper flight attendant or flight captain hat. Possibly like a Hasidic Jew. Yeah, there you go. So, but yeah. So we're driving across country, Mom, Dad, and I. And my dad, although we had that little Chevy Chevette, he decided that he wanted to rent a truck as well, and he bought a whole lot of Coca-Cola because my dad had this idea that it would be valuable in California. Not really sure where he got that idea. My uncle works full time in the swap meets in California, which is like a flea market, but like in a university parking lot. It's a bunch of guys. They get out there and they rent it and buy the parking space, and they sell everything from candles, old transmissions, used panties, whatever. They sell it all, and that's what he does. And he had this idea, him and my dad, that they bought a whole bunch of these, Christmas commemorative Coca-Colas in a bottle that they would be worth a lot of money out in California. And so Dad being Dad, he bought about 1,200 of them, filled this flatbed truck up, and we were following the Chevy Chevette all the way out there because Dad thought he could make some good money. We stop along the way, and unfortunately, someone stole some of the Cokes from us in the middle of a convenience store. So that's what I'm saying. It's called the epaulets. Am I saying that right? Epaulets. There you go. So White Castle, no McDonald's or Wendy's. Well, no, I mean, we all have standards. Now, Wendy's, I got to admit, they have a wonderful shake, the Frosty. I haven't had a Frosty in a while because they don't have any Wendy's here, but a Calorie Wings. Oh, dude, thanks very much. Calorie Wings, the super chat. I really appreciate that, man. I love IHOP. Simply love bacon and eggs and the free flow of coffee. Love American breakfast, corned beef hash. Now, I actually had IHOP semi recently in Guam. This is a story I've been wanting to tell for some time. I'm wanting to make a video on it because I have a lot of footage and I just have never released it. I spent a week in Guam. Those of you who don't know what Guam is a small island just in the middle of nowhere. It's about a 3-hour flight from the Philippines. What is this? Broad background look. Okay. That wasn't intentional. Anyway, Guam is a small island. It's in the I think in the Midway chains, if I'm not mistaken. Like American Samoa and all those little islands out there. It's a strategic island for the United States. The three branches of the military there, the Navy, the Marines, and I believe the Army all have a base out there. Where my bunny? Where my bunny? Bunny is right over there. That way. She's in the kitchen. She's actually doing a little bit of cooking and cleaning right now tonight. Unfortunately, she just can't handle dirt. And unfortunately, the cleaning IE did a really piss poor job. Left grease everywhere, didn't clean very well, didn't do this and that. And she's just like kind of freaking out and whatever else. So she just like, sorry, I gotta take care of it. She just couldn't handle this. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And she's in there cooking as well. I think she's making these wonderful little beefs wrapped in these little mushrooms that look suspiciously like squids. Really great stuff. So anyway, Dr. Death says, don't underestimate tasting milk. You can get a greasy. Yes, that's very true. So I didn't know bra. That's two masks joined together. Love it. So yes. So the pancake doesn't like pigs in a blanket. Potato green. Yeah, true story. So anyway, Guam. I went to Guam for a while now. I'll probably explain this a lot better in a video, but I'll give you guys the Reader's Digest version, the Paul Harvey version, as it were. Basically, once upon a time, Snarky was not married to Bunny. True story. And to get divorced, I'll give the full unabridged version in a video upcoming. Stay tuned. Patent pending, Snarky, TM, R circled, whatever. Paul Harvey did rock hard. That's true. Yes, the rest of the story. So, anyway, I was married, and as a lot of you guys know, I have a couple of kids, and probably should have got divorced years ago. I toughed it out for the girls. Well, to get divorced in China is not an easy thing. Because if you're not a Chinese national, forget it. It's just not happening. And as my ex didn't have a Hong Kong ID, we couldn't get divorced in Hong Kong. And funny thing, we couldn't even get divorced back in the States because I no longer had residency in the States. So if I flew back to the United States, I could have actually got divorced in the States had I stayed for like 3 months in the state and got residency again. But I wasn't willing to do that. However, Guam, which is an unincorporated territory of the United States, is basically the Las Vegas of the Pacific. So if you go to Guam and hang out for 7 days, you get residency. So basically, it is Las Vegas of the Pacific. So as Nicholas would say, yes, true story. So basically, after all of our paperwork was signed, dotted, and whatever else, I flew to Guam to hang out on a lovely Pacific paradise for 7 days. And then you just go before a judge, and my lawyer named Levin Camacho. Now, there's a name for a lawyer. Levin Camacho, nice guy. Basically signed everything off, and go in peace, you're free, man. And there you have it. Bob's your uncle. Okay, Bob's not really my uncle; it's just a friend of my dad's. We call him uncle. Isn't that creepy? But anyway, so we went and hung out there for a while. What is this? Oh, you brought me food things. Would you like to come and say hello to all the nice people? No. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So check this out. Bunny brought me some greens. And I was telling you guys about this earlier. She made these little beefs wrapped in this mushroom. Looks especially like little squids. Isn't that nice? So she is amazing. True story. So I'm going to be an incredibly rude host and eat in front of you guys. That's good. Let's try one of these. These look just like little squids. I'm serious. It's a little beef wrapped in these little mushrooms. And they look, I just dripped on my mouse. That wasn't good. They look like little squids. And they're so good. So, anyway, so we went and hung out, or I, went and hung out on my, on the island of Guam for a while. So, I love Bunny. I loved her first. So, oh wow, your dinner, yes. So, true story. So anyway, so I'm Android, but my wife loves them. There we go. So bacon wrapped in inuki mushrooms. It's kind of like the floppy beef. There's a double entendre just begging to be made there. But Asian women take good care. Yes. Oh, they do. You are absolutely right. That's true. You treat them like the queen, and they will treat you like the king. Remember that, gentlemen. Anyway, so I flew to Guam and got there, and I realized Guam is kind of a small island. I say kinda. Those of you who are familiar with Hong Kong will know that it's about the same size as Hong Kong, which is fine, but there's no public transportation. Matter of fact, you would think you were in the middle of Iowa as far as islands are concerned. I mean, they've got U.S. signs, U.S. cars, U.S. everything. They actually take the U.S. dollar, but no tax. That's weird. So if something is $1, it's actually $1. Wow. So yeah, they've these little greens. So yummy. So just get an upgrade through your carrier and trade in pretty cheap. There you go. So Nicholas says, hello, Bunny Wolfie. Oh, yes. She is in the house. I was going to shout over, but I guess I won't do that. So Dr. Death, yep, I brought a iPhone 6 brand new, and after 2 weeks, I gave it to my wife. She's still rocking this. I thought I might buy her a 12. Oh, man. I really want that 12 mini. Now, weird thing. I've got the iPhone 8 right here. The iPhone 8 is pretty cool. It's got a 4.7 inch screen, but the iPhone mini is smaller than the iPhone 8, but the screen is bigger. What kind of magic is that? Pretty crazy. So anyway, I get to Guam and realize very quickly I don't have a car. Okay, yeah, no problem. You need a car. I mean, it's kind of basically US light. Checked around the airport and it was like, oh my gosh, so expensive. It was like $70 a day for a car, which US is just kind of rocket science. So, okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'm used to walking everywhere in China. I'm going to hoof it. So I got my big old suitcase. It is literally big enough to put my wife in. Never tried it. And we took off walking. What is this? Can an American still work there without visa? Yeah, dude, it's USA. Of course you can. Absolutely you can. So waiting for the 13. I'm rocking the 11 Pro Max. Yeah, I've got the 8, so I think the 12 will definitely be an upgrade. So what's the previous best? No more. There you go. So anyway, what is this? What I find ticklish about is whenever they bring out a new iPhone, everyone says this is the best iPhone we've ever made. It's probably true, only because they didn't have it before. Funny thing though, if you want to know how to use an iPhone well, ask an Android user. They've probably had that technology for a couple of years now. True story. So yeah. So working in China requires a permit from what I understand. Yes, true. Working in China does require a permit. I was referring to Guam. Anyway, so we get to Guam. So this is how I come out of a big show. So it's feel like the best. The next one makes you feel like it's the best ever. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Girls and iPhones. There's definitely a correlation right there. So true story. Battery not as good as the 11 yeah. So anyway, so I end up walking for I don't know, a couple hours. I finally found the cheapest and worst rental on Guam available. You know those little spare tires they put in the trunk of a car? They call them the donuts. This thing had 4 of them on the car. These little bitty things are not meant to drive more than 40 miles an hour on. They had them all the way around. And so, yeah, the speedometer didn't work. The door didn't quite shut. The seatbelt worked with persuasion. One of the headlights worked. It rattled, gasped, kind of sounded like a hippopotamus with laryngitis as it ran. It was a terrible car all the way around. But you know what? By gum, it was a car. And I got that for $20 a day. Yeah. So I probably got taken for a ride. Pun partially intended. So I ended up driving the entire island of Guam. You can drive from the top to the bottom and all around Guam in one day very easily. Ended up hanging out, eating some food while I was there. Really good experience. The car, I decided it would be kind of a good idea. And when I say good idea, I mean really bad idea, to drive it into the ocean. So I did. I drove this car into the ocean very slowly, got it stuck, spent the next 2 hours digging myself out because I thought I'd make a great video, and there it is. Again, I still need to do some, editing and put that out a little bit. So I received a call from the authorities 2 months ago. They thought I was working in China League. Yep, it's true. They will definitely get on you there. There is never a best girl. Yeah, that's true. What is this? 4 spare tires. I love the way you spell. There's a British spelling of tires. True story. When I was in Form 4 in the Hong Kong, which is the British system, as you guys know, I got counted off on an essay for spelling tires with an I. True story. Amphibious cars. I've seen them before. Yeah, this was not an amphibious car. This was not a car that was meant to be driven into the water, but I thought it was a great idea. I took a little action camera and I clipped on the hood, knowing it would probably scratch the hood up. But again, when you're paying $20 a day for the worst car in Guam, you're not so much concerned about chipping the paint. So yeah, I went ahead and clipped an action camera on the hood, drove that thing all over Guam, got some great footage. I just haven't released it. I need to do that. So that's one thing that's coming out soon. What is this? Snarky bacon and cheese slider, bacon and cheese grilled chicken, and oh, dude, you're a freaking! I got food here, and you're making me hungry. So how fair is that? So seriously, guys, but look at that. Look, just I want to show you guys. Look at it. It looks like a little squid. It looks like a little squid. That is wonderful. So I hear Bunny in the background. Internet buffering. The internet is buffering. The internet is buffering. It's like, okay, thank you. So I get what you're saying. It wasn't a VW. No, it was a, I think it was like a little Toyota, like a Toyota Yaris, if I'm not mistaken. It was terrible all the way around. But, like anything else, you do what you must. Anyway, I'm gonna release that footage coming up soon. Something else you guys can expect coming out soon here. I'm gonna be doing a real-time Shanghai subway walk and talk. I'm gonna go ahead and put an action camera literally on my head, and I'm going to be going around with that. I don't have it here. I can't actually show it to you, but yeah. So that should be fun. So what is this? Bunny, you may be in the kitchen the whole night. No, I think she's in the living room actually right now. We have a little bitty tiny little living room that's not much bigger than our bathroom. Does Guam have casinos? Yes, they do. Guam has a lot of casinos. They also, weirdly enough, the largest Kmart in the world is in Guam. Isn't that kind of awesome? So I'm not sure why, but there it is. So oh yes, she's enjoying dinner with Skittles. So Skittles has abandoned me. He's in there with her because yes. So little squid needs a couple of cut olives for eye. Yes. Well, I could open up the sardines and lay it next to the squid, but then I have to buy a new can of sardines. That's not good for anybody. Yes. So please show us how you attach the camera. Yes, I will definitely show you how you attach the camera. I've got this little thing. It looks now. Okay, this is going to sound much worse than it is. I apologize for the visual I'm about to present to you guys. It literally looks like a little jock strap. You just kind of pull it over your head, and it looks like a jock strap. It has like the little GoPro, connection right here, and you just go around with this camera in your head like an old, CCTV camera from the 1980s. So yeah, but it works, right? So. It might just be the last. As a matter of fact, I think it is the last Kmart in the world as well. And my understanding was that the local Chamorros. That's right. The people in Guam are called Chamorros. So I love you, Chamorro. You're only a day away. Anyway, okay, I won't sing anymore. But it is the last Kmart in the world. True story. Do they allow smoking in the Shanghai subway system? I hate smokers. No. They do not allow it in the concourse, on the trains, or on the platform. But it is one of the last vestiges, last places in Shanghai where they do require you to wear the face mask. Most everywhere else in Shanghai, you're not required to. And I would say about maybe 1 out of 3 people in the street I actually see wearing a face mask these days. So have a nice dinner. There we go. She's probably enjoying the same thing I'm enjoying right now. Bunny, we've had a noodle with your snarky guy a few weeks ago. Yes, we did. Matter of fact, that was really kind of cool. We had some entirely too spicy noodles. I may or may not have snuck a Coca-Cola. Don't tell. It's on a cookie. So, but it was super awesome just hanging out with Caliber Wings. Super cool guy. Dude really knows his models. I was just kind of freeballing, talking about some models with him, and he just, oh yeah, this one, yeah, oh that one, and he dude knows his models. He really does. So if you guys are looking for some really good models, head over to Caliber Wings. Guy will hook you up. He's making a lot of really cool things. You could take the eyes from the sardines. No, thank you. So it's not squid. No smoking. You can still smoke on the train. No, you cannot smoke on the trains. So, and by smoking, I mean you as a person cannot smoke. You light yourself on fire, light any tobacco products on fire, nothing on fire. True story. Caliber Wings, you had one noodle. No, he had his own noodles. I had my own noodles. We did not share each other's noodles, nor did we do the Lady and the Tramp thing where we both have a noodle and suck it up to the middle. Nope, sorry. None of that going on. So we respected each other like that. So, but it was really awesome to hang out with him. There are a lot of smoking, especially in eateries in China. I hope they can eliminate it soon. You'll find that as time goes on, they will probably be eliminating more and more smoking in China. But China is, as I understand it, still the leader in the world as far as smokes. So there we go. Maybe you had one longevity noodle, one single strain. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. That has one noodle like fills up the whole thing and just goes all over the place. That'd be kind of a cool business plan. I like that. So one noodle, I sliced the chain. If so, we didn't. True story. Anyway, so back to Guam. Hung out there for a solid week. Drove the car into the ocean one time. Hung out on the beach, went swimming in some amazingly clean water. Had some, they have, of course, all the chains you can expect. Had some IHOP when I was in Guam. Wonderful. Had some Winchell's Donuts. OMG. Wonderful. Even the Burger King, they had some of the sourdough burgers that they don't have here in China. So it was kind of nice to see all that stuff and hang out. At the end of the day, yeah, fun times. Went and saw a couple of museums while I was there. They've got like the, of course, during the Second World War, I guess Japan invaded Guam. And so there's a lot of Guam survivors and some museums there. It's kind of an interesting thing to hang out. If you've never been to Guam, I recommend it. Very cool. So, all right, let's see. Smoking inside thing is gross. I say it as a smoker. A funny thing about smoking, when I smell smoking inside nowadays, it's kind of almost, I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of the past sort of thing, I'm not saying euphoria, but just, kind of that, remembering of the past sort of thing. What's the word I'm looking for? So, yeah. China still leads lung cancer rates. Yeah, well, when you smoke a lot, that's true. So let me ask you guys a question. Guess when did Snarky tell me to order the washing powder? Oh boy. Hey Bunny, we're out of washing powder. We're out of washing powder. Yes, we're out of it. We should order more. Yeah, I did actually tell her beforehand, but I guess she didn't remember, and so I told her tonight, just as she's getting ready to wash the clothes, put the clothes in the washer. So In Japan, they do not allow smoking on the pedestrian walkways. Inside, they have smoking lounges built. But strangely enough, most eateries in Japan allows free flow smoking. I did not know that. I've actually been to Japan one time in Tokyo, so I just haven't had a chance to hang out. So, oh my God, Guam is the bomb. They have the last Winchell's, Donuts, and Kmart. Yeah, they've got a couple Winchell's there. Super powdery, soft, flaky donuts. I love them. Just the plain glaze. It's the one thing I can just never get enough of. So, Bunny, when you got home? She got home Saturday night, last Saturday. She was actually here on the Snark Lounge last Sunday, but again, she's not able to join us tonight. When the clothes are in the washer, the clothes are in the washer right now, and unfortunately, we're out of washing powder for the washer. So yeah, there you go. Use the powder wash clothes. There we go. When there wasn't enough for another load, it was completely empty. It was literally bone dry empty. So there was just no way to do it. So yeah. And at times in the smaller eateries, the smoking and non-smoking section is a table away. Yep. I worked in a restaurant like that when I was living in Oklahoma. When I went to university there, there was a small restaurant that was called Tippin's Pie Pantries. Some of you guys may or may not be familiar with Tippin's. They've got like 1,000,000,001 different flavors of pie and OK Eats. And it was like that, where they have the smoking and the non-smoking, like literally a table away. Old school. Yeah. Nowadays, not so much in the United States. So that's my boy. So they have a Winchell's. WTF. Yes, they do. They have several Winchell's. I love them. So Walmart killed Kmart. Yeah, that's true. Back in the day, I would say back in the day, probably 70s or 80s, Kmart's used to be everywhere, you know, with the blue light specials and whatever else. Wonderful Michael Jackson joke there that I won't make about the blue light specials. But anyway, and over time, I mean, it's, you know, like the Buggy Whip, you know, there was a lot of different companies that made Buggy Whips, and over the days, you know, Buggy Whips just kind of went out of fashion, and the best Buggy Whip in the world no longer became viable. That's a Danny DeVito movie, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up. So that is awesome. Yes, agreed. So you are almost right. So Burbex, are you here? I haven't seen Burbex yet tonight, but he may yet join us. Let's see. Does Guam have the obvious military? Yes. Dude has military personnel all over the place. Guys walking around in uniform, out of uniform. You know, they got the Ray-Ban aviators on, you know, all the telltale signs. Yes, there's the American military everywhere on Guam, because it's one of those places. It's a nice little holdover site, you know, where they can easily go here, there, everywhere. As a matter of fact, when I was in Guam, there was a little bit of concern, because at that time they were saying that everybody's favorite dictator in North Korea was planning on a missile strike on Guam. It's in range. And I guess obviously that didn't happen. It was a big concern at the time. Hey, all you snarkoids. Ooh, I love that. Snarkoids. I may have to steal that. Ladies. Well, welcome, sir. It's always a pleasure to have you. When he finished the last piece of it, can you imagine someone will inform you the power's all gone when he finished the last piece? I swear I did tell her that we were out of the washing powder days before, and there you go. So, but now, Bunny, now we do have two rules. We do. Hey, rules. You can't live life without rules, right? The first rule, Bunny is always right. And the second rule is, when in doubt, refer back to rule 1. So, by any measurable logic there, it is my fault. So I will admit responsibility for the wash powder. Definitely. Oh, yes. Little boy's pants half off is a punchline. You knew that one. I wasn't going to go there. But there we go. So when I was with my woman, I'd do everything. That's a nice idea. Yes, she is amazing. The people of Guam don't get to vote in the presidential election. No, they don't. Then that is the one downside to living in an incorporated or an unincorporated territory, is while you don't get taxed as heavily, obviously there's no sales tax, it's just straight, you know, 1 for $1 on the dollars. you don't get the representation either. So the same goes for Puerto Rico as well. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I hung out on Guam for a while. Great, had some wonderful footage. Really need to release that. Like anything else, I guess I just haven't done it yet. Need to do that. But there's a lot of great footages like that I've got. I had some good one of some guys in Changsha. Bunny and I took a high-speed train from Hong Kong all the way up to Shanghai a couple times. A really nice trip. It's actually better than an airplane. If you've not taken a high-speed train in China, I highly recommend it. The ride is smooth. You get to watch the world whip past you at 300 kph. They've got a little QR code right on the seat of your chair that you can just use your phone, and beep, scan whatever, and someone brings you stuff, and it's not even overpriced. The food's not overpriced. A Coke will still cost you about what it does in a convenience store. At every single stop, you can even order takeout food from many of the YMI delivery guys, the little delivery guys that deliver everything in China food wise. And so you can have your McDonald's delivered to you, so as soon as you pull into, let's say, Nanjing, before you get to Nanjing, you order your McDonald's, and as soon as they stop, they're only there for like 5 minutes. You pull in the station, doors open, little guy runs in, hands you your McDonald's, and he runs back out, and Bob's your uncle. But it was kind of funny, though, when I was on that train, a bunch of guys, we were talking about smoking earlier. These guys were just, really horny for a smoke. And so the doors open, these guys jump out, they're chain smoking, and stuff. And of course, the train was only on that platform for like 5 minutes. The doors closed, and these guys are banging on the door. And the train's slowly moving, going by, and you're trying to chase down the train, banging. I felt so bad for those guys, because you're thinking, you know what? Like anything else, those poor guys, their luggage is probably on that train. Maybe their wife's, girlfriend's, kids, who knows? They just want to, jump out there for a smoke, and those poor guys, they'll get another train, obviously, but it is what it is. So. What is this? I'm waiting for the footage of that Chinese Venice. Can I never remember the name of that town? Zhujiazhui. And I do have some footage of that from Zhujiazhui, as a matter of fact. The Venice of China. That's going back to, okay, I probably will not admit this in the footage. I'll make it look like it's current. I'll be honest, but that's probably back from 2017. And so, but yeah, we will definitely do that. I did the old trains. I hate it. Yeah, I've taken the old trains too. Back in the day when I'd take the train from Shenzhen, we're talking back in the late 80s, early 90s. I've been in China a long time. The green train used to take about 3 hours to get from Shenzhen to Guangzhou. And that was just uncomfortable ride, standing room only a lot of times. And of course, the in-flight meal, the big, styrofoam box, they come around passing out, covered up. You see a little rat tail just hanging right out the edge of that in-flight meal. That was always fun. True story. Zhujiazhui, yeah, there we go. Yeah, she got it there as well. Got it in one. Chinese Venice, Suzhou. No, there's a lot of what they call Chinese. There's now I'll tell you who's got some awesome footage of Chinese Venice. Guys, look up Kung Fu Adam from Kung Fu Imaging. That guy's got some amazing footage of some of the old water towns in and around China. So there we go. Guilty? Lol. There we go. I was in China in 2003. Me too. So actually, that was back when SARS came out, so it was not the best one. So my best China story, getting a VPN. There we go. Yeah, you can't quite do anything without a VPN. So you mean Zhujiazhui? No, Zhujiazhui is definitely not a Venice town. Although, kind of funny. We'll go into funny things. Last year I decided to take my scooter from my house over to the other side of the Huangpu River to go to school, just because, whatever else. Well, they don't have a tunnel you can take a scooter in. They don't have a bridge you can take a scooter in. So if you want to take your scooter, otherwise known as the e-hog, the electric hog, there you go, across to the other side of the river in Shanghai, you got to take the ferry. Yeah, no problem. So I took my I took my scooter all the way to the ferry, got on the ferry, paid with my my Alipay. You got your little Alipay, on your phone there, which is your little QR code. You can just go beep and pay. So I paid, got on the upper level, and I noticed a policeman on the top of the ferry had the word SWAT on the back, the special weapons and tactics. So they're the best trained policemen in China. And I get on the there, and the guy's he's got his phone, and he's taking a few pictures as he's going along. And I'm the social type, you guys may or may not have noticed. And so I just said, "Hey, taking some photos, huh?" I expected he would probably speak some English that said SWAT. And the guy turns around, and he's got his English as good as mine, if not better. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm enjoying taking some photos. You can see the Oriental Pearl from here. Looks great this time of day." And I said, "Oh yeah." So we're just kind of talking a little bit. And so he's got his phone. He's like, "So you must be Jimmy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I got nothing to hide, of course. But how do you know?" That's kind of a little creepy, Dude, just like he's got his phone, just as fast. He's like, "Oh, you must be Jimmy." Just that fast. And I'm like, yeah, how do you know? And he's like, don't freak out or anything. He's like, you paid with your Alipay on the getting on the ferry, and you're the only foreigner on here, so I surmise you must be Jimmy. And I'm like, that's true. And I started thinking afterwards, like, wow, they are really on the ball here in China. They've got they can know your name that quick, and real-time tracking. It's amazing. They say in Shanghai that when you walk out the door, within 3 to 9 seconds, making a little Chinese sign there, seconds, they've already got you identified. And now they don't even have to look at your face. They can identify you. They've got some really cool algorithm that measures the gait, like how you walk. If you walk kind of funny or however you walk, it knows you by your gait. So you can be like, 200 meters away in a dark alley with your back to the camera, and they can still identify you based on that. That's cool and spooky all at the same time. True story. So what's this? I did Beijing to Hubei. It was a journey I will never forget. Why was it? Was it a good journey, bad journey? So interesting journey. What's this here? During Spring Festival, it was a pain to travel home for Union dinner by slow train. High-speed rail has made the journey much faster and smoother. Yeah, I love it. It is a wonderful way to travel. It's smooth. The bathrooms are clean. They're always clean. They got, little stewardesses wearing the old 1960s, they got the, they got the little hat kind of turned a little sideways, and the little velvet stuff, and, little skirt stockings, a whole bit, walking down cafe, night cha, and as they're going up and down. And so this wonderful. Love the high speed. The high-speed train, the downside to the high-speed train, if there is one, it actually costs a little more than the airplanes these days. You can get a budget airline, which is literally like a bus in the air. They got those seats that don't move, don't recline or anything. Yeah. So I love the high-speed train, but it does take a little bit longer, obviously. So, yeah. So I went from Beijing to Shenyang in 25. It was nice. I like seeing the countryside and how similar it was to going through some of this of Central California. Yeah, it's super awesome. Love it. Cannot complain about that. Cool. That is super cool. Yes, Mission Impossible stuff, the gate. It really is. That is it's cool. Don't get me wrong. They have that kind of technology. And it could potentially save lives. Absolutely. It's great, but it is just a little bit Big Brother-ish. Yeah. And again, it is the country. You can't complain about something. It's their country, right? Their country, their rules. So it is what it is. I'm just saying it is a little bit, as they say, creepy. So pros and cons. True story. So very bad. It taken 16 hours. Ugh. So like that. I flew back to USA last year to go visit my daughters, and it took me 42 hours to arrive. That was a long trip. That was like from Shanghai to Vancouver, changed in Vancouver, spent 4 hours in Vancouver, then flew to Chicago, where I had to stay overnight in Chicago's O'Hare Airport. Oh my goodness. I love the architecture in O'Hare Airport in Chicago, but it's an old school airport. It's really kind of, ugh. You get the idea. And then, of course, a little mini flight down to visit my daughter. So it was, as Dr. Jess said, bad. Privacy is dead. Well, yeah, that's true. Like anything else, privacy can be overrated, I suppose. I mean, it's always nice not to have anyone see you in your underpants, I suppose. But like anything else, I mean, it is their country. It's their rules. So, I mean, you can't change it. And, like anything else, you should probably just look at the good over the bad on these sort of things. So, 1,200 kilometers. That's it. Oh, my goodness. That's a trip, my friend. Yes. Every technology has a potential for harm or good. It all depends on the user. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Like anything else, I mean, it's just all how you use things. I mean, a lovely can of sardines can be used for a clever gimmick, or it can be used to bludgeon someone, right? What kind of headline would that make? Bludgeoning by sardines. Yee, not good. So go ahead, Snarky. I am. I'm just kind of, sporadically eating these two. I want to show you guys. I cannot give Bunny enough props. These little beefs wrapped in these little mushrooms. Looks like little squids, and they're so good. Bunny is an amazing cook. She really is. She's as you know, she's an amazing person. My favorite human. So I was at O'Hare only once in my life so far on the way to Orlando. Yeah. I mean, there's some cool eateries, I suppose, and airports are airports, but like anything else, I much prefer the airport in Shanghai. I prefer the one. Hong Kong's got a great airport. Nice little, they got the smoking cabins there that looks like a magic show because it's all filled up. You can see people occasionally as the smoke is just kind of wafting all over. Expect David Copperfield to pop up, ta-da! In the middle of everywhere. But O'Hare is just so it is not squid. So there we go. So hey there, little squid, time to disappear into Snarky's. There is a double entendre wanting to be made there. So is it beef? Yeah, it actually is beef. It actually is beef. I call them little squids because it looks like little squids, but I want to show you guys it's just little beef. They're wrapped up in little mushrooms, and it looks suspiciously like squid. So, yeah. So he needed a new pair of glasses. Yeah, I know. Actually, I got a lot of glasses. Bunny's told me I have too many. Do I have this pair right here? I was going to use this. I was thinking how I could use this as a stupid little gimmick. I have these old glasses here that the glass fell out of. And I was thinking about doing a stupid little gimmick because, you can see there's no glass in there. And you put them on and they almost look like glasses, not quite. And the glass, I can see there. And I was thinking about doing like a silly little Mentos type commercial, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. But Bunny says I have too many pairs of glasses. I've only got 6. Is that too many? Nah, can't be. So you will love the Singapore airport. I would love to go to Singapore. I've never been. So Airport is a nice airport. Doha Airport reminds me of something out of Star Wars. Bunny was actually in Doha. She was there not long ago. She was telling me it's a wonderful airport, but I've just never had a chance to go. So it is what it is. So, pardon me. I'm from Chicago and Burb. O'Hare Airport stinks. Air transfer here with less than 3 minutes. Yeah, it's true. True story. So you would do well with Elton John type glasses. I actually had a pair of those, and Bunny said it made me look like an old uncle. So I got rid of them, definitely. So Snarky Guy has too many glasses and too many shoes. Well, yeah, that's true. I do. I do have 9 pairs of shoes. Is that too many? But you got to mix and match, right? You need to have, kind of a little wardrobe per se. My tie is just going elsewhere. So, yep. I've only been to John F. Kennedy Airport. Not a good experience. I've heard rumors about JFK. Never actually been there. True story. So I only have 4 pairs. Well, there you go. Years ago, when I was getting my my wisdom teeth out, for those who don't know, your wisdom teeth are the tops and bottoms up here. I was getting my wisdom teeth out, and I was listening to my doctor tell this story about getting lost in JFK while he's in there, rummaging around in my mouth. Couldn't get him out, and finally they had to use the gas to put me out. Dr. Greer, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the worst dentist in the world. Please don't visit him if you ever go there. And I woke up and, because they got, I think they got like the top and both the bottoms out. They couldn't get this one quite out. And so they had to use the gas to put me out there. And so finally I woke up and they're like, tell me how you feel. And I'm like, I'm okay. And I'm kind of coming to, and I realized I don't have pants on. That concerned me a little bit. You wake up in the dentist office, you don't have pants. You're kind of wondering, did something happen? So yeah, you're just kind of wondering about that, So yeah, there you go. What's with the bra? The bra was over there. Yeah, I think it fell. I know you guys can't see. There's actually a whole laundry hangery here. It just happens. Yep. So Singapore Airport has its own massive indoor waterfall from the ceiling to the ground. They got one of those in Vancouver as well. Great airport in Vancouver. I really enjoyed that. I'm very Canadian. They will sell you a bottle of maple syrup for only $40 US. Ooh. There we go. I have a dentist phobia. Signal when it's okay to unmute. It's okay. Dentist story done. So got a lot of fun doctor stories though. Yep. Yeah, but I'm not going to go into any of those right now. Got a fun, let's see, kindergarten, a mini story. I worked in a Chinese kindergarten a couple of summers ago, and one of the boys came up to me and he kind of pulls my shirt. Mr. Jimmy, I made boom boom in my pants. God, nope. Nope. Sorry. Nope. So yeah, it's done. True story. Tom Hanks would have fared very comfortably in Singapore. Oh yeah, the terminal one where the guy, it was a true story based on some I think it was some guy who was trapped like in the airport in France, if I'm not mistaken. The Charles de Gaulle. I think it was an actual true story based on that. But I have to go back and watch that again. But yeah. I think he also true story, the speaking of Tom Hanks movies, the volleyball from the Castaway movie. Yeah, that was the same actor from the Tom Cruise movie, the volleyball scene in Top Gun. That was the same actor that played the volleyball in that scene and the volleyball in the Tom Hanks Castaway movie. That was the same actor. Did you know that? It was Wilson. Yeah, true story. True story. So, yeah. Guys, I have put up the I was kind of hoping to have one of you guys pop in and just say hello. There's the link. but no one has followed up on that. So yeah. We are coming up near the end of the hour here. Now, we do have a couple things coming up. Next week, I think Alex Absolute's going to be on the show, possibly a couple others. Stay tuned. We need to finalize that, of course. I am going to be doing an interview with Burbex about some of these awesome places that he's traveled. I've traveled. Those of you who know Burbex, Brand's urban exploration in China with a Chinese twist. We're going to be talking about some of the cool places that he's been, like the Minsk, which is that Russian aircraft carrier off the coast of Ningbo, and a couple others. So yes, I'm also going to be doing a kind of a funky one with Radio. You guys remember Radio? He was on here a couple of times. Johnny, it's the Johnny Show. He and I are going to be doing a unofficial trilogy kind of takeoff, and it's going to be kind of a fun, quirky one. So you want to hang on to that one. Someone click on the link so Snarky can take a breather and eat his dinner. There you go. I will take a breather. I will take a beat. Ooh, there's a nice. Ooh, there's a nice. Look at that one. Looks nice and squiddy. There you go. Best dinner I've had all day. True story. Would love to pump in the StreamYard next chance. Not tonight. Yeah, dude. Kyler Winks, great guy. He's always welcome. Really enjoyed hanging out with him. Sometimes, it's one of those things, you meet some people online, like anything else, it's a digital age. So you meet people online all the time, and you meet in person, and, sometimes, you click, sometimes you just kind of, okay. And you kind of scurry off and think, no, I'm never going to meet that guy again. What a weirdo. But, he's actually a really guy. He's a really cool guy. Enjoyed hanging out with him. He's generally a genuine guy. So, wonderful. I like Burbex. He does some of the best videos in China. Yeah, he really does. He does. He's actually, he started his YouTube channel after me. And so I had more subscribers, and he's actually overtaken me, and good for him. He's got some great stuff. I'm really excited to see what he's got coming out next. My China story went to Mount, I'm probably going to butcher that. Qingqing. Had a driver take us up more than 500 miles on a winding road. His goal was more trips equals more money. Thought I was going to die on blind curves. Amazing experience. Yeah, I've been there. Been there on some of those wild and crazy driver trips that you just wonder. Chinese, okay. Sometimes people in China, you got to keep in mind, the driving culture is still new in China. So sometimes they tend to drive like a school of fish. They tend to walk that way also. They tend to look forward, not side to side a lot of times. And so it's not uncommon when you're sitting in a car for someone on the right side of you to cut you off going left in an intersection, or someone on the left to cut you off going right, or sometimes both at the same time. And you're thinking, So driving in China can be a pleasuring experience. Sometimes it can be not so pleasurable. Yeah. But it's not like in America where you can just, get in the car, pop in, and some MP3s and just kind of, cruise out and just kind of relax. You always have to be on your guard when you're driving in China. That's another thing we have coming up as far as videos when I get my Chinese driver's license. So that should be kind of fun. So I thought the most deadly drivers in the New York. Yeah, they are true. Oh, dude, I read a really interesting fact just yesterday. There was some guy, and I can't remember the name, so you guys look this up. It was on Cracked. Some guy, he got ran over by a New York taxi cab. And the very next year, his brother got ran over by the same New York taxi cab driver, hauling the same passenger both times. That's weird. That's a funky coincidence. So, but I don't know if they have the worst drivers in the world. Who knows? But, well, guys, it seems like no one is going to be popping in to say hello. So, like anything else, we're back to guests next week. Bunny should be back next week. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me for a little din-din here. And some funky stories. Didn't get all the funky stories. We had my famous goat Camaro story. I think I've probably told that before. I parked under a Cadillac story. Doing a interview for my boss because she didn't know what she was doing. Had a couple ex-wife stories in there. Really don't like to brag on her too much. like anything else, you don't want to rag on the ex. You know what? Like, because if things didn't work out between you and she, you're always going to be mom and dad. So you always should be on a good relationship as far as for the kids are concerned, because you're always going to be mom and dad, right? There's no reason to be enemies. So there is that. But I got a whole list here of different stories. So, but yeah, you know what? Like anything else, guys, I really appreciate you joining me. Like anything else, always carry a can of sardines. You never know when they may come in handy. Guys, I appreciate you joining me in the Snark Lounge. I will see you next week for some guests. And until next week, may the sun shine on your faces. May the wind blow in your back. And I'll see you next week right here in the Snark Lounge. You guys have a great day. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Like helps the algorithm a lot. And I'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.